Welcome back to The Buzz with Bernadette. Hello, I'm here, I'm alive. The podcast is back for 2025. It's always one of those things like it's that time of the year. We don't know what time it is, we don't know what day it is. It has just been crazy. And what makes it even crazier is when you go on a holiday for the most part of December. And you think you're being smart. I'll go away for December. I'll miss Christmas. It'll make things easier. But what happens is people go, oh my God, I haven't seen you for Christmas. We've got to catch up, like when you get back. So you end up kind of being in this weird spot because, look, I digress. I digress all the time. It's just who I am. So I'm going to go and start from the backward and go forward and then go backward again. So when we were away, we actually were away for Christmas Day, thinking that we were being smart and, just thinking, oh, we'll have a chill Christmas Day. But it made it really weird actually, because what ended up happening was we were leaving Sydney to come back to Perth on Christmas Day. So when it got to Christmas lunchtime, we'd already packed. We were ready for our car to come and pick us up, take us to the airport. But it was kind of like that really crazy sort of time where we're like, oh, well, it would be nice to go somewhere for lunch, even just to have lunch before we left. But it was Christmas Day and it was 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And there was nowhere to eat because everybody had already pre-booked, or 80% of places were closed. So it was just like kind of really weird. And then we went to the airport and then we were like, okay, well, this will be great because the flight definitely will not be full. So we'll be able to get, whatever seats we want. We'll probably be able to lay down, go to sleep. It'll be amazing. And we asked the guy when we checked our bags in, how full is the flight? The words you don't want to hear. Fortunately, this flight is fully booked. And we were like, oh, so we had pre-booked our seats. We had like row 6 or something or row 8 or something like that. And he goes, but do you know what? I could probably give you the exit row if you like, if you're willing to, help in an emergency situation. We're like, yep. I said, yeah, that will be great. And then as we walked away, Walter was like, but is that really great? Because now we're sitting all the way in the middle of the plane. And I was like, honey, you could have said something, but he didn't. But anyway, I liked our seats. I thought they were fine. I'm just upset that I kind of, I always would prefer to block a seat in the middle. Why did they make planes with 3 seats at a time when really, I mean, come on, even numbers just makes more sense, right? Does it? I think it should. I think they should have 2, 2, 2, not 3 and 3. I don't know. That's just I know I'm making things more difficult for air stewards, etc., but that's okay. Yeah, so look, there has been a bit of an absence here because busy, and I know I said last time we were moving in to the new place and all that kind of stuff, and then settling in all takes time. And then, before you leave, you've got lots to do, and before you leave for a holiday. And then I came back home, and then I thought to myself, this podcast room just doesn't, it's not doing it for me. I wasn't vibing with it, and I didn't feel like I was ready to have a guest in here yet because I just wasn't resonating with, I felt like everything was upside down and topsy-turvy. So then one night, I booked my next podcast guest in, who I'm very excited about, and you'll see who's coming up next. But I booked my next podcast guest in, and then that was good motivation for me to kind of like sort my shit out, sort my room out, get it in, sort of a design that I feel that flows better. And I think I'm finally here. I think I'm happy. I mean, just probably in terms with, little bits and bobs that are around, I might refine that again. I was a bit worried about my signage not being in the right spot, but actually I think I'm okay. I think I'm okay with it now. So I'm feeling like I can actually have people here now. I can bring guests in and stuff like that. So now I think you're going to start hearing from me more. And also, thank you for listening to my last episode. There were heaps of new listeners, and it was one of the most successful episodes that I had. We talked social media, and I had Alexander Sacosta on the show, and very, very interesting topic. Very interesting topic, and there will definitely be more episodes to come within that topic of social media, just because even though social media has been around for a long time, it's still a fairly unregulated space, and I feel like there's so much more we have to cover, so much more. And there was so much interaction, so many questions from listeners, and just so many people coming up when you're out and about, just saying wow, giving their feedback, asking questions, also just relating to the topics that we talked about. So it's going to be definitely a lot more to come in the social media subject. So, but let's get on to this episode now. So today we're going to be talking about, I'm going to give you a quick overview of the cruise that we went on. We went on the Royal Princess cruise, and we went through New Zealand, which was actually so beautiful. Such a beautiful cruise. We had like a sort of average temperature of 26 degrees, which was so great. I've always wanted to go through New Zealand. It's been on my bucket list. Got to tick that off. It was amazing. And it's very interesting, like, you go on different cruise lines and different ships, and you think, oh, this will be different or this will be better. So the cruise we went on previous to that, probably about 6 months ago, was the celebrity cruises. And they had sort of like different nationality of staff on there. So they probably more had Indonesian, mainly, yeah, probably Indonesian sort of staff on that boat. But the currency and everything like that we operated with was US currency, which made a lot of things sort of like, you're on holiday and you don't really want to be working stuff out in your head all the time. But this cruise that we went on, everything was in Australian currency, which was so great. But we found the staff were different nationality. I want to say there was more probably, there was such a mix actually. I want to say Croatian, Indian, Portuguese, maybe Spanish. Yeah, so it was completely different feel, different vibe. Like it felt like we were on like an American ship, but we weren't. So, and I learnt that the way they work out the currency is the particular where that ship is basically ports, where it has its home port, is basically where how they figure out what currency it's going to have, which is great. So this particular ship carried about 5,000 people, I want to say, if not just a bit more. And the first thing we noticed, so we boarded this ship in Sydney. We stayed a few days in Sydney on the front end and then stayed about 4 days on the back end of the trip. And so we boarded the ship, and we thought we won't rush on the ship. We'll let everyone get on, we'll take our time, blah, blah, blah. I had this big old suitcase. I was dying to get rid of this suitcase. Said to myself, do you know what? When we go away, I'm just going to buy a new suitcase, leave that, ditch that one. And so my suitcase was so shit. It had 2 wheels, not 4. And I swear to God, the suitcase itself was so heavy. And me and my partner already left with 26 to 27 kilos each. Now, when you leave with that much luggage, you just can't do anything. You got no room to move. You can't buy anything. And I don't know. I do it to myself every time. It's a constant battle of, I'm only going to pack a little bit, but, I have to pack bathers for every day. I mean, who wants to wear the same bathers or bikinis every day? Not me. I don't want to wear the same outfit every day. I might like to wear pink, but I want to wear different pink every day. Anyway, I'm digressing again. Let's go back. We're boarding the ship, right? Now, one thing we didn't do, we did everything top shelf on this cruise, but one thing we didn't do, and I would advise you, is to pay that extra, I think it was $60 to fast track to go ahead of the queue. Because when we got there, it was probably a couple of hours after, maybe 3 hours after you could have boarded the ship. So they like to get everyone on pretty promptly, and but you can board from about 12 or 1 in the afternoon. And we thought we'll go there at 3 p.m. We went somewhere just chilled, and then we decided to walk on. And of course, you see those lines that go in an S shape and they just go on forever. That's the line we're waiting in. And we just thought for $60 each, we could have just gone straight through. But when we did finally make it on, we did not waste 1 second of time. Handed our luggage in, or took it up. Actually, we had to take it up to our room, and had a beautiful stateroom with a balcony. We will never stay on a cruise ship without a balcony. It's just the best. Love it. Love waking up to just seeing the ocean, and so beautiful. We did not waste any time once we got on. We went straight to the nearest restaurant, which was a Japanese restaurant. We got some fresh sushi. First cocktail of the ship was a lemon drop. My God, that was so good. So sweet and sour at the same time. So beautiful. And we just loved it, right? Then we settled in, got our bags ready. And at that stage, we were on a premium package. And we were contemplating, premium package, if you go on cruises, you can have any drinks, unlimited drinks that you like every day. But then there's another package above that, premium or premier package plus, and we were contemplating, and you've only got 48 hours once you get on the ship to see if you want to upgrade. After that, cut off, you can't do it even if you want to. And we were like, and what it was going to get us was more top shelf alcohol if you are that way inclined. And let's face it, you're on a holiday to enjoy yourself, to party. If you're not a drinker, then great, save your money. But so this was top shelf, plus you get to go to any single restaurant on the ship. Otherwise, in the package that we were already on, below that, you could do 2 specialty restaurants per week, and we didn't want that. We wanted the really special restaurants because they were fabulous. They were so nice. There was steakhouses, there was a steakhouse, sort of a specialty restaurant. There was an Italian restaurant, just beautiful selection of food and different wines and champagnes, and they're available at every single restaurant. But if you knew what you liked to order and you knew what sort of champagne you liked, they would go and get it from another restaurant for you if you really wanted it that bad. And that reminds me, there was another special feature on the Princess Cruises that we never had on our last cruise line. And you get these little medallions, and you can wear them around your neck. You can wear them as a watch feature or bracelet. You can wear them as a clip-on or clip it on your handbag or whatever. And this is a tracking device that allows your partner or the group that you're traveling to see where you are at all times, just in case you get separated. Quite a big ship. A lot of ground to cover if you don't know where your group is or your partner. But the main good thing about these medallions and tracking devices is that the staff on the ship, you can order, if you're on the specialty package, if you're on the premier package, you can order any drink, any cocktail, any snack, any food item to be brought to you anywhere you are on the ship at any given time. So, of course, when it goes to late night, there's, not many things available for you, and you might have a little bit more wait time. But if we're talking during business hours during the day, you can have anything you want brought to you anytime. It is so good. And so you could be poolside. You could be by the pool. Oh my God, I'm wet. I don't want to get out of the pool. I want to order a cocktail. Can they bring it to me? Yes, they can. And they've got your picture on their little electronic device, and they can see what you look like and bring it straight to you. That was the best feature on Princess Cruises that we never had on the celebrity cruises. So that would be my absolutely number one little great thing that we had. So now another little tip I will give is like, and you can see the professionals on these cruises, like, and even though we cruise a lot, it's like we're just getting back into it, so we're a bit rusty. But once you get on board, book all your restaurants immediately, because everyone else has already done it. And if you've got a restaurant, like say we went on our cruise for Walter's birthday, which was, specific date. So you're like, okay, right, I want to book this restaurant for this date, booked out. Why? Because you didn't book it when you got on the cruise ship, but everyone else did. So we were finding that, that was our only issue. So then instead of booking it on the app, because obviously an app only allows you to sort of like do certain things. So we would have to go down to the restaurant and get on a waiting list or see if we could make it in. But anyway, we got the hang of it after a while, and we got all the restaurants that we wanted. Plus, you don't know what you like when you first get on. You don't know if this restaurant's going to be better than that restaurant. So what you have to do is you just have to go and try them all and then go, right, this is the one we like the best. Let's book this one in for your birthday, and then work it all backwards from there. Yeah, but yeah, if you're definitely going for a really good party time, I would definitely suggest the premium drinks package, if not the premium plus. So that is definitely. Now let's get on to some accommodation hacks. Now, I don't know about you, but I am kind of person that loves to sleep on a really hard pillow. Like basically give me a brick wrapped in a bit of cotton wool, and I will be wrapped to the back teeth. Right? So when we first got in, I asked you sort of like have, he's not a butler, but you sort of like have a service attendant that will make your room every morning, and he will just do a certain number of rooms on that floor every day. So I asked him, his name was Henry, and I said, Henry, do you have a firm pillow? And he was like, obviously English was his second language. And I said, I want a firm pillow. I want a hard pillow, like hard. So he goes, okay, I will check with guest services. I said, I actually already checked with guest services. So, but if you have more luck, that will be great. Let me know how you go. And I came back that afternoon, and there was just an extra pillow on my bed, the same softness as the other pillows. And I don't know about you, but that just really doesn't measure up for me. Like I don't want to be going into a sinking like ship. I want protection. I want firmness. You know what I mean? So anyway, and I asked the next day, and my partner was checking up as well, and the firm pillow never came. So in our stateroom, actually, it was quite good. And in all the staterooms, I believe, there was a lounge that goes out to a sofa bed. And there was the dress pillows on there, like these little dress pillows. But they were really hard, like really hard. So I ended up getting one of those. Here's accommodation hack. Popped it into the pillowcase and then just slept on that. And I thought, I'll just do that until he finds me, a firm pillow. I'm sure one will come around. What I'm going to do next time though is I'm going to, when, we do our stopovers or whatever, I'm going to just go to a $2 shop and buy a pillow for $30 just to see me through and leave it behind, because that kind of would have been a lot more worth it to me. But anyway, I slept on this sort of like lounge cushion for 3 weeks on the cruise. But at least I didn't get that much of a sore neck. I would have got much more of a sore neck on soft pillows. Just can't do them. Cannot do them. So yeah, that's my little hack in case. I'd like to know who else likes a hard pillow, because am I the only one? Why are we still doing soft hotel pillows? Why are we still doing that? Surely I must be a minority, because if no one else is bothered by them, it must just be me. But my partner would have preferred a firmer pillow shoe, so it can't just be me. So now, Another little tip I would say is that as soon as you get onto the ship, find your favorite bar, make friends with the bar staff, so that they can give you all the tips, the insider drink recommendations, like if you like a good French champagne, this is the best one on the ship, or what have you. And make friends with someone who will actually go and get you what you want from another place, because not all of the staff is willing to do that. Do you know what I mean? Or some of the staff actually have no knowledge of, fine wines, alcohol, or whatever. Might be their first time, learning that stuff. So you definitely gotta just get on there, find your favorite restaurants, find your best knowledgeable staff, and then get in good with them. Because we made friends with this one guy, and he was so young, but he really helped us. And he would be like, look, the bar's going to close now. Would you like me to basically, we had this wine on the boat. It was so good, this red wine. Can't remember what it's called now, but I have got a photo in my camera roll of it. And it was just this beautiful red wine. And he was like, look, the bar is closing. So, let's see if you guys would like me to basically give you the rest of the bottle. And we're like, yes, absolutely, that would be so good. So yeah, that was actually really awesome of him, and he wouldn't have done that if we wouldn't have made friends with him. So that's another little hack as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, so okay, let's see. Now let's get on to some money saving. Now, this one might seem obvious. It might not seem obvious, but obviously you go on a cruise and, there's shore excursions. Now, I think me and my partner are on the same wavelength when it comes to this, but we don't like to get off at every single port because, do we really want to travel 4 hours on a tour bus with 50 other people or however many other people to sort of see something for 20 minutes and then come back? Because the thing is, when excursions take that long, it's it could be a 3-hour bus ride to get there, 3-hour back, then it's called an 8-hour excursion. Some of these excursions are absolutely astronomical. The prices are 500 plus easy, and to go on these excursions. And we just don't want to be sitting on a bus for 3 hours. And yeah, that to me is absolutely boring, especially if the weather's beautiful. We could be sitting by the pool, ordering whatever we want, drinking, eating whatever we want, and etc. like that. Because when you go on a cruise, you actually get so spoiled that when you do stop off in these ports and you'll go, you will be walking around and then you'll be like, oh, you know what? I'm a bit peckish. Let's stop off at Coffee Club or something like that. And then you're like, oh, wait, we'll have to pay for our own coffee. We'll have to pay for our own, breakfast. Gosh, how could we do that? We can get it for free on the ship. So you do get this mentality on a cruise that you wouldn't ever have on a normal holiday. But yeah, so what me and my partner will find that we will do is if it's somewhere we really want to stop off, we will basically just figure out how we can get to the sites that we want to see. Are they in walking distance? Shall we Uber? Shall we figure out how to get a tram or a train or a bus or something? And quite often, sometimes you end up seeing more of a place doing it yourself like that than to go on a tour bus, etc. So that's a little, money saving hack from me. Another one is, I don't know who does the spa treatments on a ship, but why are they so expensive? Why are they so expensive? A blow dry, so expensive. A massage, $200. So my tip there would be just wait till you get into port and just go and get a massage at a normal place. It'll be a lot cheaper if that's what you really want to do. Having said that, if it's a special birthday and you've been planning your whole year around this and you're going to live it up, go for it. But they're just so expensive, and it's actually all so much cheaper back at home, So anyway, I do not indulge in the spa treatments on a cruise, just because been there, done that, been burnt, too much. Now, the discoveries that we made on the ship as well. Now, they are so good. Where do I start? Now, of course, they have walking tracks. They have a gym. I get on there with good intentions. I said, I'm going to do this walking track every day. If I'm going to eat this much, I better walk this much, you know. But of course, I don't know what happens. You get so busy on a cruise. You get absolutely so busy on any holiday, really. I find I was that busy. I didn't have time to upload to my stories. And I am a person who creates content and uploads to my stories all day, every day. It's what I do. I get out of bed, I roll out of bed, and there's a story uploaded. Like, it just happens so natural for me. I don't know what happens on holiday. I just I can't seem to do it. Can't seem to upload. But I guess that means I'm enjoying my holiday. So that's really good. But anyway, so had great intentions. I'm going to exercise. Does it look like I exercised? I have no muscle tone here, but they had a great gym. I can tell you, I did look in there. I did go on the treadmill once. Walking tracks were great. And then what was I going to say? Then we will find, you know what I said to my partner the whole time? I was like, do you know what? Like, when I go on a cruise, I want to do the really daggy things. Like, ever since I was young, I have just really enjoyed doing I'm just a dag. I'm just a big dag. So I just was like, wish they had bingo on here. I would love to do bingo every day. I've loved bingo since I was like, I don't know, a kid, and we did it at school. I was like, oh my God, I love bingo. Love it, love it, love it. And yeah, two things. I will put my hand up. I am a karaoke addict and a bingo. I just love them. Anyway, so it was the last day of our cruise, and we saw these signs for bingo. And I was like, are you joking? Are you actually kidding me? They're going to give me bingo on the last day. Are you freaking joking? So we went and bought some, you know, I like the traditional bingo, you know, games where you get the dobber, and they had the dobber there and the games. And I was like, man, I can do, how many games do you want to give me? I can do 10 at a time. Let's do this. So my partner, though, Walter, they had a new way of doing it where you just get an iPad and you buy the games, and the games are on the iPad. Both of them cost exactly the same, but obviously you don't need a dobber for the iPad, and it will just tick the numbers off for you and tell you if you won, basically. But the only difference was, as well, is that, you know, you're sitting in this big showroom, it's like where they have the shows. So it's got like beautiful lounges and cocktail tables, and then there's a stage. So everyone sits down there, chills out, and plays bingo, has a few cocktails. So if you've got the iPad and you've got 2 numbers left to go, it'll like ping, like really loud, and everyone will know, my God, it's him. He's got 2 numbers to go. Whereas if you just got the traditional dobber and paper, you know, no one knows when you're about to win. Anyway, so we spent about $200 on bingo that day, and then none of us won, unfortunately. My partner got so close about 4 times. He was 1 number away. And then I'm reading the little newsletter, because I don't read things. I skim, and I just don't read instructions. I don't read booklets. And let me tell you, my God, they were putting things in our room, under our door every day. Papers, letters. Do you want to go to this dinner? Do you want to come here? It was all too much that it all gets overwhelming for me. So I didn't read anything. And then I read in this newsletter that they have been having bingo every single day on the ship. I can't tell you how effing angry I was that I've missed out. I missed out on bingo every single day. I'm still actually pretty beaten up about it, pretty sad about it. I'm really pissed off. Anyway, so read things, read your newsletter, and maybe you'll learn something. That's my advice to myself. Yeah, so the only downside of being on a holiday is I really missed my boy. I really missed my dog. I knew my kids were going to be fine. They're old enough. They don't even care. They didn't care I was going away. They don't care. So before anyone says, didn't you miss your kids? Yes, I did. but at least you can talk to your children. You can FaceTime them. They're older now. They don't care what their mum's doing. But my boy, he's 13 years old, French bulldog. He's getting old. I got told by 2 clairvoyants he wasn't going to be here when I got back and, expect him not to make it past Christmas. I wanted to know the truth. I didn't want to just it's how I deal with things. I just like everything to be transparent. Anyway, and he's deaf and he's half blind. So it's not like I could FaceTime him or get my girls to FaceTime him for me and I could say, "Hi, Rocky." No, I couldn't do that. So anyway, thankfully enough, when I got home, he was there and he's still here with me now, which is, thank the Lord Jesus. Thank you. Love it so much. So much been happening in my life. But while we were away, I was missing him. And I also knew that I had months and months and months back had put my name down for a beautiful new little puppy, which if you're following me on Instagram, you already know that I've got. And he is adorable little baby Moodle. He's now probably 11 weeks old. I knew that I was picking him up as soon as we got home and back into Perth. So I was like, oh my God, when it gets to the last week of your holiday and you're like, actually, I'm kind of ready to go back home now and I am missing my dog and I am excited for my new dog and everything like that. So, yeah, so you start to sort of get that anticipation. Yeah, but I will say, just sort of like in wrapping things up. So we got back into Sydney. I had a wonderful cruise, wonderful experience with Princess Cruises, not sponsored. And then we had 4 days to spend in Sydney. So we did the bridge climb. I went into it. I was so tough. Done this before. I've actually done it twice before. And my partner had never done it. And it was part of his birthday present. He likes to do adventurous things, and that for him would be nothing. He loves heights. He doesn't care. He's not fazed. So I'd done this 2 times before, but probably about 15, 20 years ago. So I wasn't really thinking, about how I would react to it now. Anyway, I'm sure that they've changed the bridge climb. I'm sure they made the bridge higher. I'm sure there's more see-through bits under the bridge now, because I remember doing that years ago. And I don't remember any bits where I could see right through. Anyway, we walked that first. There's a couple of ladders you have to go up where you can just see straight through. I could not feel the back. If I had a back of my kneecap, I couldn't feel if I did have one. It was missing, and I'm sure some toes were missing as well. I was freaking the F out. But my partner is one of those guys that if he thinks that you're going to be worried, and he's very masculine, so he would come up and put his hand on my shoulder or on the back of my back. And when you're scared of heights, any movement, any touch is like, "It's okay, stop, don't touch me." Oh my God. You start hyperventilating, and I was just trying to be cool. I'm fine. Yeah, no, good, because I thought the more he thinks I'm not fine, the more he's going to try and console me. And whether he thinks he's helping me or he's actually being a shit stirrer, I do not know. But it's just going to really grate on me. So just that whole experience was almost 3 hours of me holding my breath. But hey, we got great photos out of it. And that's the main thing, isn't it? It was really good. It was really good. And I would recommend it to anyone who's not scared of heights. And I'm not saying I'm scared of heights, but I do have memories of going up the Pemberton Tree down south in Western Australia. And I do have memories of screaming and making every Japanese tourist that I had underneath me, and there was about 15, 20, and I screamed and made everyone get down. I was like, "Get down now, I can't do this." And I should have known. But I did this, and I'm so proud of myself, and I got the certificate, and I earned the certificate. It was so good. Anyway, one more thing I want to say about Sydney. We found so many great, just general about Sydney. It was amazing. Loved it. I've got so much to say about Sydney, but I'm going to wrap this up. Maybe it'll be for another episode, but we loved it. It was so good. But Just for example, we went out for dinner one night. My partner goes, I just want to go out for cheap Chinese. Let's just get cheap Chinese tonight. Like, we've had so many 5-course meals on the ship. Let's just get some good Chinese. So I looked up best mid-price Chinese in Sydney. Can't even remember the name of the place we went. Everything was in walking distance from where we stayed at the Vibe Hotel in Sydney. And so we walked there, which was great. Probably already walked off the meal before we ate it. Awesome. It was just us two. I had 2 glasses of some cheap sparkling to go with my Chinese. And it cost for us two, and we ordered the least amount of food that we've ever ordered because we're big orderers. We'll order 4 dishes and this and that, and we just go to town. We ordered a dish each and a very tiny entree each, which I'm embarrassed of the size. I got these little triangle like samosas, and I'm not even kidding you right now. They were like a 50-cent piece. I'm not joking. I'm not exaggerating. Anyway, guess how much it came to? $360 for 2 people. 2 people. That was crazy. But anyway, apart from that, so much we loved about Sydney. And there was even fireworks when we were there. It was amazing, amazing. You haven't seen fireworks until you've seen them in Sydney. So good. But I think I'm going to wrap this up. That is all for today's episode of The Buzz with Bernadette. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and share your own cruise stories in the comments if you have any. Or if you want to go on a cruise, let me know. Let me know what's been enticing you to go on a cruise. Or if you're always thinking about going on one, I hope I've given you some good advice and some crazy little stories. But yeah, so keep in touch on socials, and I'll see you on the next episode.